Hi, I'm Debbie. Welcome to my channel, Debbie's World, and this is my video about 3 ways to make baked oats. There's one very quick one, one slightly quicker one, and one long one that requires a bit of care and patience. So each recipe will use 40 grams of oats for your Health Extra Beat on Slimming World, and you can choose whether to add some sins with flavourings and fillings such as cocoa powder, jam, lemon curd, chocolate spread, etc, etc. So I hope you enjoy. Let me know if you make any of them and which would be your preferred option. Thanks for watching. Good morning, it is Tuesday now and I'm going to show you a way to make very quick baked oats. This is the consistency of sponge pudding again, or very likely very thick porridge. It does taste of sponge, but it's not quite as spongy as the other 2 recipes. But if you want something really quick and a bit cakey, then this is your answer. So you want your 40 grams of oats. I did buy some more oats. And just put it into a microwavable safe dish. 1 egg, and about 3 tablespoons of milk. If you're being very strict, you might want to weigh that, but it's usually within the healthy extra. And then you want a couple of tablespoons of sweetener. Again, if you have a very sweet tooth, if you don't have a sweet tooth, you might want to try it without, or you might want to use skinny syrup if you have it. A couple of teaspoons of sweetener. Now I am just going to put, just for the flavour, a small squirt of skinny syrup, and combine that and mix well. And then once it's mixed well, you'll make sure that egg is really well beaten. You want to microwave that for 1 minute. And this is how it comes out. It's sort of very set porridge. It does have a spongy texture to it, but it is more like set porridge. That's the best way I can describe it. It's very nice, especially for something quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some golden syrup. Now 15 grams of this is 2.5 sins. So I'm just going to add 5 grams, that's 10 grams, so I'm going to call that 2 sins. Went a bit mad with the old squirt. So 2 sins for golden syrup. Then I'm going to add a strawberry Muller Light. I would normally have a different flavour, but these ones need using up. So that's half a sin. You don't have to, obviously you don't have to add the golden syrup, but it just gives it a bit of more flavour. And then I'm going to throw some fresh fruit on top. Some blueberries and the last of my raspberries. And let's get the kettle on, get a coffee on, and that will be 2.5 sins, 2 sins for the syrup, half a sin for the yoghurt, and my Healthy Extra B for the oats. And that is my 3 ways with baked oats. Good morning, I hope you can hear me above the microwave oven. So this is one way that I make baked oats. First thing you need to do is preheat your oven to 200 degrees, or I think it's about, that might be about gas mark 6. So you need some oats. I'm a bit out of practice with this, so forgive me. So 40 grams of oats for a healthy bee choice. Then 1 egg. Then any type of yogurt, you can use unsweetened if you want, for it to be free. I'm going to be using this Muller Light toffee, which is half a sieve. And if you're not quite as sweet toothed as I am, then you might want to use just a plain yogurt. You don't have to weigh it if you don't want to, but I do like to weigh it just to get everything right. So you want about 100 grams of yogurt. Whatever yogurt you choose, doesn't have to be toffee, it can be anything. Any flavour you like, and it doesn't have to be a Muller, it could be a hyacinth one, anything. So that's 100 grams of yogurt. Then you probably want to add some sweetener. Again, it depends what kind of sweet tooth you've got. I'm going to use my Skinny Food Company 0 calorie syrup, which is caramelised biscuit. You can use a couple of teaspoons of normal sweetener, or like I say, if you don't have a very sweet tooth, especially if you've used a flavoured yogurt, you might not need anything. So a couple of squirts of that. And then that's the basic recipe. Now then you can add things to it to make it flavoured. So at the moment I'm going to add ground ginger. This is why I've used toffee yogurt, so it can sort of have a sort of that kind of autumny flavour if you like. So about half a teaspoon of ground ginger and some cinnamon. It's like a sprinkling of cinnamon, and give that a good stir. Now this will taste more like, it will taste cakey, but it will taste more like a sponge pudding type thing rather than actual cake, if you know what I mean, if you know what the difference is. So yeah, it'll go like a sponge pudding. So just give that a really good stir to combine it. If you want to keep your product afterwards looking nice and clean, you might want to stir it elsewhere and then pour it into your baking dish. Yeah, you want an oven-friendly baking dish, a nicely combined mix. I'll try and get that out of the glare of the sun. That's even worse. There we go. So that's my mix, and I'm now going to cook that on 200 degrees for about 25 minutes. So we'll see you in a bit. So while I've been out with Charlie, this has been cooking. So I would say it's probably been sort of finished for about a good 5 or 10 minutes. So it's cooled down a bit nicely. And as you can see, there's some marks around the side. So if you mix it in another bowl and then put it in your cooking bowl, you won't get that. But this is what it looks like, and then I'll show you how I serve it up. So I've made a nice warm coffee to have after my dog walk, and then I've got my baked oats with the rest of the yoghurt and some raspberries. So this on Slimming World is half a sin and my healthy extra B for the oats. And I'm going to sit down with an episode of Grey's Anatomy and eat this before I start work. Right, good evening. As you can probably see, I have changed into some pyjamas, so you'll have to excuse that. But I'm going to show you another way with baked oats. So hopefully this video will turn into 3 ways with baked oats. So what I'm going to make now is chocolate baked oats. And this, while I said the last recipe was more of a like sponge pudding, this is more cake. So you want to preheat your oven to 200 degrees. And then in my jug or your bowl or whatever, I've got a small finely grated carrot. You see that there? And I have used, sorry, I put it in the wash. I have used one of these micro planers to grate my carrot, and be assured you cannot taste it at all. So the carrot you want is about this size compared to my hand, and the Pyrex jug. So yeah, one small finely grated carrot. Then you can see I've already got my jug on the weighing scales. My oats, which I need some more of. You want your 40 grams of oats. Taking a bit of a risk weighing it directly into the jug, but live dangerously. 40 grams of oats. Then about 50 ml of milk. I use this Arla best of both milk, but I think most of us would be able to spare 50 ml of milk from our Healthy Extra A allowance. If not, I think it's probably about a half a sin or 1 sin, because 300 ml is 6 sins, so work that out for yourself. So that's my milk. Then you need to add 1 egg. I was just saying to Andrew that I don't know how people go without eggs when they're following a healthy diet. And then you want to reset your scales and take some cocoa powder, or you can use options or any of the hot chocolate powders, as long as you sim them appropriately. Now you don't have to add this, you can add any other flavourings, jam, marmalade, chocolate spread, add the ginger and the whatever like we did earlier. Just check the sins on the app and weigh it appropriately. So I'm using this cacao powder, and I'm going to put 5 grams in for 1 sin. And believe me, I know it sounds a bit stingy, but 5 grams is plenty to make it chocolatey. So 5 grams of chocolate powder, and then again you would add sweetener or some kind of skinny syrup, or if you've not got a sweet tooth, you don't have to add it at all. Totally up to you. Now the reason I like to use milk rather than yoghurt is for the consistency, and to be honest these days most sweet yoghurts are sinned anyway. So this whole thing will be a Healthy Extra B for the oats, part of my Healthy Extra A for the milk, and 1 sin for the cocoa powder. So then you want to take some kind of baking tray. I'm using these individual cake tins that I got from Lakeland. I don't believe they're available anymore because I haven't been able to find them, but there's loads of things like this around in the shops. It's just an individual sized cake tin, and I've sprayed it with Fry Light. you want to put that in, pour the mixture in. For some reason I always tap it for luck, and you want to cook that in your oven for about 23 minutes, 23 to 25 minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out and then how I serve it up. Good morning, Saturday morning, and it's 20 to 10 if you believe that. I've had a good lay-in this morning and I'm dressed and I'm ready to eat my breakfast. So this is my chocolate baked oats. I have sliced the loaf into 4 and I've got 3 pieces in my breakfast bowl. You can warm it through if you want to in the microwave, which I do. I'm serving that with some raspberries and a banana and custard flavour Muller Light. And there's a little piece that I'm going to save to either eat as a snack later on or part of a dessert. So that will be 1.5 sins, 1 sin for the cocoa and half a sin for the yoghurt, and my healthy extra B for the oats. And that is my chocolate baked oats.